Well, my friend, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Sure.
As you know, we have a lot of things to, to talk about. And first of all, I want to thank you to doing a type of onboarding for Utopia with Christine. Was really a really good encounter meeting. We talk. We are already becoming Utopia is already becoming a partner in the Alliance for Conscious Internet.
Cool.
It's really cool. And I myself, I'm going to make a work with the first bakers of the crowdfunding efforts uh, for Utopia in the middle of this year. And I'm going to make a lot of experiences with all the dApps that already exist in Threefold uh, lineup infrastructure. So it's going to be nice to do that.
Cool.
That said, now we're here with Allan. Allan is a friend, and of course he's co-creating. I'm co-creating with him, and he's co-creating with me. All this decentralized internet, right? And I'm
Mhm.
not, of course, I'm not going to introduce him. He's going to introduce himself. And but what we have to discuss here today is not only to better understand what is the proposal of this decentralized platform that already started to co-create, right? We already made a roundup of conversations, and last Saturday was really nice. Okay, it was all already in Portuguese, but it was really nice. I don't think. I think I'm going to put some subtitles in English. I don't know for folks to understand what people are talking about. But and as you know, it's going to happen a hackathon in December 12th, and this is one of the things that we're going to discuss. But we're going to discuss also the distribution part, right? Related to infrastructure, related to here in Brazil and elsewhere. So that said, let's begin. Allan, please, man, make yourself acquainted for my friend here, Roel.
Hello, Roel.
Nice to meet you, Alan.
Nice to meet you. I can I can understand the talk about with YouTube, but my speaking is not so good. I
No
can
problem.
I can understand, but Vinicius,
Yes,
help
you
me,
can say
help me.
Portuguese. I will translate for him in English.
Perfect.
No problem.
Good,
Perfect.
good. Bom, meu nome é Alan e eu tô aqui no estado do Rio de Janeiro, na região de Serra de Montanha,
He's in the
né?
countryside of Rio de Janeiro state, right? It's a very rural area. It's a tiny place, actually.
Mhm.
E aqui eu tenho um servidor próprio dentro de um centro cultural, onde eu estou querendo criar vamos dizer assim, uma equipe de produtores culturais, de artistas voltados para a produção de conteúdo descentralizado, ao mesmo tempo
Well,
que venham
wait
isso.
a minute, man. You have to go slow. He has a dedicated server, right, for the cultural landscape for producers content producers related to like artists, like things like that. And actually, he founded a type of cultural center where people in the region comes and get along and produce things together, right? And his great ambition is to have but now it's evolving, was to have a platform for content producers related to culture in general,
Mhm.
but actually culture as to re-signify the way that we structure culture, the way that we think culture, right? Because it's very market driven, as you know, and he understands that culture itself is wealth, is generating all types of wealth, and this platform that he's going to talk about, and I'm already ahead of him, is related to as you produce content, you receive a coin, a hollow coin, and this hollow coin itself is going to enable the artist, the content producer, to access some fiat money, but all and distribute it in many fashions, right? So that's it. Desculpa, Alan, eu fui um pouquinho mais à frente.
Era o que eu ia falar, tá ótimo.
He said that was going to talk about. So. Então, cara, se quiser falar mais alguma coisa.
Não, tá perfeito, tá perfeito.
So that said, man,
that I could understand.
Perfect. That said, I think that the great thing here is to understand how threefold infrastructure, right, can back, let's say, technologically back the coding, the development of this decentralized platform in a Web3 manner. And I think this is the part that is going to be nice to hear you. And understanding that as Allan knows, and I know, there's a lot of folks that are really interested in being farmers, right?
Oh, we lost Allan.
Yes, but he'll get back. The region is very not
up
good.
And down.
Yes, not good for internet access, so for web access. But there's a lot of guys like Allan. Nyla is a friend and a partner in that sense, that are really interested to make this infrastructure happen in Brazil and elsewhere, right? So that's it. Now you see, he's like a DJ, right? He's like an MC, like a DJ. He's the guy, man. He's the guy. He's the guy.
Perfect.
So Allan, I already told him our main interests related to the.
You feel free to talk to Allan in Portuguese if that's easier for him. We already had the talk, so.
Yes,
go ahead.
Okay.
It's no problem for me.
Allan, meu querido, eu já adiantei aquela parte que você já ouviu. Eu falei para ele que a gente tem todo interesse de usar toda a infraestrutura que a Threefold já tem, né, disponível, no que diz respeito ao próprio hackathon, o Deathon que a gente vai fazer dia 12. Né? Falei para ele que a gente também tem interesse no que tange a distribuição, né, de infraestrutura, para a gente gerar essa distribuição de infraestrutura aqui no Brasil e para toda a região, né? Eu sei que eles estão em contato com a it's Believe. Is it Believe, Roel? Believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Time Bank.
Time Bank. E a gente.
Yep, Time Bank, indeed.
Yes, Time Bank. E eu falei para ele, quer dizer, no encontro passado eu tinha falado para ele que a gente tem todo o interesse de fazer um encontro junto com os caras, até para a gente poder entender como é que a gente pode, né?
Isso é uma questão, porque eu fui usuário da Believe muito tempo, mas eu achei que estava desativado, porque tentei contato diversas vezes para suporte como usuário e nunca recebi. Então, se eles estão de volta na ativa, é muito bom saber, né? Bom
he
saber
said that he was a Believe's user for a long time. I think that he was a Believe user as I was in the alpha, in the alpha phase and the beta phase. But he didn't know that it actually is working, is still working. He tried to have feedbacks from them that didn't happen. So interesting to understand that the guys are already working, right? They're up working the platform.
Back to the game.
Yes, back to the game. So that's it, man. So Roel, what really would be nice to hear from you is, since our last meeting, right? What have evolved? What have evolved in the contact? What do you really? What was the evolving steps for this distribution and this infrastructure thing here in Brazil, elsewhere?
Well, a lot has evolved, just not yet for Brazil. We don't have a lot of people, except you, Vinicius, from Brazil, interested in becoming a farmer. And that is one of our biggest challenges. So what has changed is we are changing our marketing campaign very soon. I can't say too much about it yet, but we're splitting up our messaging. And there will be a new product coming online with that. Can you follow? Or do
Yeah,
you want
he
to?
follows. He follows. He can
Yeah.
understand you. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So what we're going to do very soon is probably release our product, which is called VDC, Virtual Data Center, in collaboration with some with some people that have a lot of capacity on our network. But yeah, again, to support something in South America, we would have to have capacity on the ground, and we don't. So that's a big hurdle for us, which I can help with, but of course it's something that still needs to grow.
Yeah, but I think that we're talking here about the type of organic growth, right? A peer-to-peer organic growth. That. So if we're talking about an organic peer-to-peer fashion growth, right? We're sync, we're in tune, because that's the type of work that me and you and Allan we do in daily basis, right? And that said, you know that already besides me, there are already some folks here that are interested, right? Besides Beehive and things like that. Well, I think that we have already not a base, not properly, let's say, a platform to kickstart this, but we have the elements, right? Like if we're in a nebula, we have the elements to kickstart the stars, right? To make it happen. So I think that it's more a thing, Roel. We're already, of course, in the end of 2020. And I think that my understanding is we have to really sync in an interactive form, in organic form, to better understand where you guys are now and where are we now. And when I say where are we now, I'm not talking. I'm talking about all this emergent ecosystem, right, related to Web3 that is happening here in Brazil and elsewhere. And that said, the only thing that we have to understand is what is the time that you have, what is the sparing time you have to make this happen, to decentralization happen in between us, right? Because you see, we can discuss a lot of technical issues, a lot of things, and we will do this, right? But I think that this connection in between us, it's very, very relevant and very important for us to roll the dice, right? Roll the dice and make this minimal, this MVP, let's say, minimal thing happen, right? For us to unleash it, because man, it's already happening, right?
Yeah. To give you an understanding of where we are at with our product, we are almost, I think, almost go to market ready. Like people are already testing on our grid very heavily. People are running applications on our grid a lot. And if you go through our manual, you should be able to do the same. Like anybody with a little bit of technical understanding, and I think you and especially Allan has that, should be able to run their application on our grid. Let me see if I can log into my Treebot. Safari. I never use Safari, only for my Treebot. So what I have is a hosted Treebot, and I hope it opens. I don't have to, please.
Yes, that was a very ingenious solution. You have it's paradoxical too, because you have a centralized application that gives you access to all decentralized applications, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you have to do something
yeah,
somewhere.
I know,
you know?
man.
Yeah.
I know.
You can't decentralize everything because then it becomes a problem almost. I can't log in right now. I have to recover it, so I'm not going to do that while in the call because it takes a little too long. But basically, what I have is what we call the Treebot. Treebot is your, in our sense, your digital system admin, and as soon as you have one, you can basically you spin up whatever you want on, for instance, Kubernetes, Docker, Minio, S3, which are kind of the same, but there's a lot of workloads that we already have. And besides that, so that's like a lower layer. We have, at this moment, we have 3 layers, which is Treebot locally. That's when you have to be like, you command the Treebot on your machine through terminal what to do. Then we have the web hosted Treebot. I think that's a very good touch point for somebody with some technical knowledge, but doesn't want to dive in too deep. Check out the hosted one. So I'll drop the link in here right after. And then we have Threefold Now. Threefold Now is even a layer above, where you can say, I just want to have, for instance, a Kanban tool to run on the Threefold grid.
Roel, do you have that? You remember that meeting, that overall meeting that you guys did 3 weeks ago, I think, or one month ago? I don't know.
Yes, I have that meeting somewhere. Yeah.
You invited me, and it was delicious to be there and to hear all the folks around. But the folks, they share some slides that was very, very good to better understand the technical stuff. Do you have it in hands so you can share and we can navigate through them? It's going to be nice, even for Allan to understand, better understand, have a grip about it, right?
Yeah.
Well, while Roel is searching for the material, I'm going to say some things that I think that it's relevant to, it's important. First of all, the 3-layer approach, right? We're talking about infrastructure, we're talking about dApps, and we're talking about culture. So in my understanding, the way to make this happen for Threefold, not for Threefold, for all of us, is this 3-layer approach, where, yes, we're talking about technical stuff, talking about how people will become a farmer, right? Via the equipment or via software. We're talking about the actual dApps that Threefold already has in-house, right? Testing, beta testing it, and things like that. And we have the culture approach, right? Where folks that never heard about it, Web3, like the folks that was with us, right, Roel, last Saturday, they are very, wow, what is this, man? And they want to test it. They want to become part of this. So I think that this 3-layer approach is very important. I don't know if we're really going to become a DAO in this sense, but I think that this is the way, right? The way to make the things happen. That's my perspective, right? Maybe differs from yours, or maybe differs from Allan. Mas falava.
Então, eu queria só falar o seguinte: você está falando desses 3 itens, né? Aí que você está falando com o Roel. Acho legal a gente falar que, mais do que a gente ter um grupo de artistas aqui que vai produzir, né? Que a gente está querendo produzir, que a gente vai lançar edital para chamar uns 30 artistas para chegar junto aqui no Centro Cultural no ano que vem. A nossa ideia é produzir conteúdo para que as pessoas possam aprender a produzir. A gente tem também o sistema de ensino artístico, né? Para que isso possa realmente espalhar, né? Ser descentralizado e não ficar a produção de conteúdo centralizada em um ou outro centro cultural. E estou terminando de terminando de construir um fundo aqui, um produto que vai permitir abrir aldeias a rodo, aonde a gente quiser abrir aldeia, entendeu? Porque eu estou com uma ferramenta financeira aqui que vai permitir isso. Eu estou finalizando algumas partes burocráticas. A ideia é que abram-se aldeias de pesquisa em arte no mundo todo.
Well, I'll try to summarize this long phrase.
Yeah, sorry, my daughter walked in and I told her, like, I'm daddy's calling with somebody, please go away.
Well, it would be nice to meet your daughter, man, but it's also
she might pop in and say hi.
Yeah, Allan said that he's in the process to gather about 30 artists in the region that he lives, right? and for this platform that we're actually starting to co-create. It's called MIÇANGARIO. But he's not only viewing the platform as a platform itself. He's viewing that the way to spread its proposal, it will be in a very autonomous and decentralized way, where people, you see, Allan call the activity that he develops in the region, it calls Roel aldeia. Aldeia is like a tribe in English, a village tribe.
Yeah.
Right? And he said that the way that he understands the growth or the spreading of it is for other folks in other states and cities in Brazil, or even abroad, can culturally appropriate the proposal and establish its own village tribe, right? Its own aldeia. And in that sense, he wants to understand how Threefold it can actually, how the chemistry with Threefold in terms of infrastructure, in terms of dApps, can make this boost a little bit, can boost it up a little bit. I can see many ways, but it's going to be nice to hear from you. But you don't have to answer this now if you already have the material, and we can navigate through the material.
Yeah, I think. Oh wait, here comes my son. I'll just. This is my son. Say maar hallo.
Hallo.
Hello.
Bijna 2, hè? He's almost 2, and now comes my daughter. Die mensen verstaan jou niet, hè? Dat zijn andere mensen. This is my daughter, Ella.
Yo.
Maar zwaaien.
Hi. Yeah, very beautiful.
She turns 5, and yeah, she looks like her mother.
She's an old soul. She has already.
Yep. You guessed it. Sorry, let me close my door for a bit. Yeah, for me, well, it's also more a question I had going into this call is how can I support you and Aldeia from a Threefold perspective? I can say from an infrastructure-wise, we like I said to you last time, Vinicius, if you have an app that you want to have decentralized, well, like if you run it on the Threefold grid, it is decentralized by design. Of course, whatever you do in your code could be centralized, but that's not what we meddle in, so to speak.
Yeah.
And unlike others, we don't watch the data going on in the grid because we can't. So technically, we can definitely be of service. The thing is that all the infrastructure right now is pretty far away from Brazil. So we'll need to test if there's not too much latency, etc., etc. So that's 1. 2, of course, there is some other things going on. For instance, the ACI, the Alliance for Conscious Internet. I think this fits in there as well. It fits.
Actually, Aldeia is not only a concept; is an organization too. And Allan is the sole founder of it. So
okay, cool, yeah. So I'm looking at, because I think you see a connection, Vinicius. There, I think you see something that maybe I don't see yet, and Allan doesn't see yet. So I would love for you to answer me the question: what could I be helping you guys with, which would also, of course, benefit Threefold? Like, how do we do a double whammy, so to speak? How do we double win?
Yes, it's a win-win-win situation that we have here, a contest, right? And I think to respond that, we have to, if you can now navigate us through the technical material, would be nice.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have to read that. I can try and read it, but I still wouldn't understand it.
I'm gonna put it in English for you. Wait just a sec. But if you have the material, please.
I still have some things, but I'm not sure if we went into that, if it's the meeting that you saw. Because this meeting was also done by a lot of people, of course, so I'm not sure if I can fill in all the details, but could you allow me to share, or am I already allowed? I'm already allowed.
Yes, you're ready, man.
So,
I put it what Allan said in Portuguese and English for you now.
how can I see the chat? Ooh. Come on. Server maintained neutral. Yes, because of course you will still have some latency issues, especially when it comes to storage, because we use dispersed storage, so it will always save on multiple nodes. So if you only have one node in Brazil, it will always save. I think logically it would be a server in the US. But yeah, if we would have somewhat of capacity in Brazil, it would definitely help the latency a lot, like tremendously. So I hope that answers the question. How do I shut the chat down now? Here, okay. I'm working on a very small screen, so it's very hard to see your faces and present and see the slides. So yeah, were these the slides you've seen, Vinicius?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so what I just explained is the Treebot deployer is the hosted Treebot, which I recommend you checking out for sure. And now has these features where you can, which was an update back then. You can have a managed network, so you could have your Treebot manage your containers directly. You use SSH to access it, which is helpful for people that want to admin their virtual admin. Yeah, emails when you're whenever a service goes down. Extension, it's basically when you buy a pool of capacity on Threefold, it will send you a reminder that your pool is going to expire, and it's going to give you a little grace period so that you can renew and send tokens to it for it to yeah, to stay alive. And the backup tool is very cool because I now need the backup tool as well because I didn't put enough tokens on my Treebot. Now the Treebot didn't have enough capacity. It now went down. Now I have to get it back. And we had a big improvement on resource management from ZeroOS, which helps our efficiency. Yeah, then we have the app, which you need to store your Threefold tokens, which was called Treebot Connect, which is now Threefold Connect. Hardware upgrade on testnet. Yeah, we put 8 more servers on testnet for people to test their stuff on the Threefold grid, which I really recommend you doing, and getting into Telegram on our groups and asking how you can get it live. I think that would be the proof in the pudding that you can put your stuff online on the Threefold grid. Yeah, and all the rest was in other updates. So we have right now, this is already old because I added a lot of nodes this week. We have 511 nodes, and as you can see, they're pretty much still concentrated in Europe. We're branching into Asia more and into South Africa and into America, but as you can see, South America and Brazil does not have any nodes live yet, unfortunately. So that will be an effort.
It will have, my friend. It will
Perfect.
have.
Perfect. Whoops. Oh yeah. So we have now, which is a cool thing to know, is that the Threefold grid works fully peer-to-peer, and we have now released a demo of our video chat. So basically a Zoom like this is on the Threefold grid, which is completely peer-to-peer. So basically they say here, when I'm here, which is London right now, they used Vienna, Salzburg. It doesn't go directly. It goes to, first goes to the US, goes back, and probably gets picked up by CIA and other companies you don't want to have looking at your data. While with Threefold, it goes directly. You're talking in one line to the person that you're speaking with. So no centralized entity ever gets a hold of your video. So that's pretty cool. And you can see that on Threefold now. You can actually test it with you too if you want. We can try it next time. So yeah, this is a screenshot of two of my colleagues who are calling with the solution. Sam is in Turkey and Sasha was in Spain, and the service was ran on one of our servers in our office, actually, in the office I work in Ghent. And they basically connect directly through that. No one can see what they're doing, not even me, who probably is the one that put the server in the data center. Threefold Now, this is, yeah. So Threefold Now is what I said is the top layer. This is the layer where everybody can say, like, look, I want to have Taiga, which is a project management tool, and I want to run it as a DApp. So as a decentralized app, I click it, deploy, I pay for it, and it's up and running almost. It's not that simple, but it's the most simple way to start an app on the Threefold grid. And we have a lot of them, and this is going to grow significantly. We're also going to do this for blockchain solutions. So we have
how is actually the PeerTube is the decentralized version of YouTube? I know. How is actually running? Do you know?
What do you mean? How is it running? It runs in a container on our grid, decentralized.
Yeah, I know.
So if I start a PeerTube, I actually had one. Let me see. Let me see if I can get one up. Threefold. Was it now? Threefold.com. There it is. Okay, let's see. PeerTube. Let's say deploy. Let me log in really quick. That's a bad sign. Oh. He already has a headache.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens, man. So should be logging in now. So yeah, solution name. I already had a PeerTube once. Go ahead. So it's now checking out where I can deploy it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we find somewhere we can deploy it.
This is very exciting.
Yeah. It can take a while. So
no. When you understand what's happening there, wow, man, this is very exciting.
Yeah. So it's now provisioning and looking at all the farms we have available on the grid. The thing is, there's not a lot of available farms. Why do I know this? Because this is a demo on testnet, and we don't have a lot of capacity on testnet because it doesn't make people money. And they're like, then I don't put it on testnet. So we, from another company I work for, I put in 8 servers totally with, in total, let me see, about 80 terabytes of
don't be worried, Roel. Don't be worried, because we know, me and Allan, we know that we're in a very early stage, like we were in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. So now what it is doing now, it's now downloading from the hub basically all the things it needs to start a PeerTube instance. So this might take a little longer. PeerTube last time took me quite long, but that's not a problem. We'll just keep it running and we'll go back to the PeerTube. So, and we have Discourse, which is our forum as well as ran on Discourse, PeerTube, wikis. We have a very, very large amount of wikis. So yeah. And what I wanted to say is what we're also going to do here is for people to make like an extra income, is make it possible to just, for instance, there's a lot of a lot of blockchain projects have a problem where all of their main nodes, as cool as their idea might sound, are all ran on AWS centralized data centers, which is complete shit.
But how did you guys evolve this interoperability between blockchains? I know that you guys are doing a load of work in this sense.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't really do an interoperability with a blockchain. We make it so that, for instance, we have a partnership with Digibyte, as you can see here. What we make possible is for people to run their own Digibyte node decentralized on our grid without having to own hardware. They just pay in TFT and then they get paid in Digibyte or DGB. And we're looking at a lot more. Like there's a lot more because all of them, when we come to them, to the blockchain projects, and we say like, look, for instance, we might even talk to Ethereum. Why? Because more than half of Ethereum's nodes are ran on AWS. What if AWS all of a sudden decides, I'm going to change all those nodes in the same second? They own the blockchain. It's theirs. They could give their own wallet. If they would be that vindictive, they could give their own wallet millions of Ethereums. Even if they don't exist, they could change. It's not technically feasible and it's very hard, but still they own 60% generally of that blockchain. That's very risky. So Digibyte had the same problem. We talked to them and they said, like, look, your solution could decentralize our whole architecture, our whole blockchain, so to speak. So that's what we're doing. They're now going to run more and more nodes on the Threefold grid, and with that, more and more people will look at the Threefold grid to run their Digibyte nodes. So we made it like we're going to make it one-click solutions that people are like, okay, Digibyte is going to Threefold. I want a piece of that as well. Click, click. There you have it. You're now owning a Threefold node.
Yeah, but I see, but I understand that the blockchain scene is just a layer in the Threefold grid, right?
Yeah, they are just they're making how do you say it? They're using part of the grid, but it could be anything. It doesn't have to be blockchain necessarily.
Yes.
We're talking to a lot of people. Let's check if we already not yet. So yeah, Earth Health, that's going to be insane. Earth Health is working on smart cities, so they have a lot of.
Whoa! Amazing.
Yeah.
Earth Health.
Do you know that?
Vini, não, Vini, traduz para mim, por favor. depois a gente fala disso aí mais à frente, mas cidades inteligentes me interessa muito.
He said that smart cities is overall interested for him. He's very interested in this. So
yeah. So we have a big project with Earth Health coming up, where they make conscious municipalities. And basically what they do is they have a lot of and I'm not too familiar with the project, so correct me if I'm wrong, and colleagues of mine can explain the story a lot better because they are more into this project. I'm just going over the meeting as we went through, Vinicius, and I'll send you the recording so you can go through it again if you want. So what they have is they do a lot of solar systems. And what we're going to do now is hook up three nodes to the solar system, which they have on people's homes, etc., etc. So, for instance, Vinicius, you have solar panels on your roof, and Earth Health, basically exploits them. They put a little box. They pay you for that box to put that in your house, and they then create a new internet for all the people to use. That's in very short what they're going to do. But it's still a very early on project. No deployment tools. That's the part I was talking about. That was it. I will send you the recording for sure.
That was great, man.
Here we go. Look, I now have.
Wow.
Are you ready?
Yeah, totally.
Here you are. This is my look to make it even cooler. Visit it and see if you can make an account on my PeerTube instance. You probably should be able, or just click and see if it works. Can you open it?
Yeah.
Just a sec.
All blank.
All blank?
Loading.
Ah, okay.
Allan asked you if Earth Health has a website.
I'll check. Look, I'll even change my PeerTube to Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah, I actually talk a few words Portuguese, but they're all related.
Open here.
It's open?
Yeah, open here too.
Cool. See, so there, of course, my instance of PeerTube is completely empty, but I could now carregar, upload.
Yes, upload.
Yeah, this I don't understand. I'm starting to get confused. Wait, give me one second. Put it in English. No results. Upload. I'll have to create an email address, an account. But anyway, as you can see, apps run on the Threefold grid, no problem. I will see if Earth Health has a website. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not too much into that project yet. So yeah, they're doing amazing things, but they're mostly based in United Kingdom, in England.
Yeah.
So let me see.
You see, there's a lot of big narratives around smart cities, and they are very centralized because they were being led by IBM, by Microsoft, and so with proprietary softwares, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that the first wave of smart cities that already happened in the first decade, they were very, how I say to you, they were very UN driven, in a sense to be aligned with the ODS objectives. But they were very market driven too. And actually to generate a type of grid, e-commerce grid for each city to interconnect themselves. But that was the first wave, right? The first generation of smart cities in the first decade. And what you're talking here about, in my sense, Roel, is very different. It's not the same thing. So we're talking about more about smart citizen than smart city, right? And in the commons ecosystem that me and Allan are very related. When we talk about things like smart city, we're talking about a decentralized and distributed smart city. Actually, we're talking about smart citizen, not smart city. And I think that this project, the Threefold project, has some blueprint in this sense. So it's going to be nice to deep dive in it. And I know that you're not directly related to it, but it was nice for you to touch upon, right?
Yeah.
And to continue to be straightforward in our conversation here, I'm going to ask for Allan if he has any doubts, if he understood what this navigation, that you gave us through the material, and let's go. We have some more things to talk about in this meeting of us, but Allan, você tem alguma coisa? Você entendeu? Você conseguiu entender direitinho, cara?
Entendi perfeitamente, assim, algumas coisas devem ter passado, assim, mas o escopo da coisa eu entendi, o funcionamento, e achei bem interessante. Fiquei até na dúvida aqui, Vini, para ser sincero, sobre a necessidade do miçangário. Entendeu? Mas a gente...
Mas o miçangário, ele entra no layer cultural, cara. Entendeu?
Não,
Assim,
sim, mas assim, todas as questões, por exemplo, de moedas, eu vi que o PeerTube aqui, eu vi que são soluções bem próximas e que a gente tem que afinar, porque eu não gosto muito de ficar concorrendo, eu gosto de ir fortalecendo, entendeu? Mas eu acredito que sim, o miçangário ele tem uma coisa específica dele, que ele ainda é necessário, mas se a gente conseguir integrar ou conversar, já que a gente está falando da mesma rede, do mesmo grid, né? Acho que é isso.
Well, what he just said is that what I already knew is that he thinks this is a type of overlaying. What he was envisioning about MICANGARIO, this decentralized platform. It's very like what already Threefold did with the dApps and all the infrastructure. But and he's a very collaborative guy. He's in the mood to aggregate things, so he doesn't want to overwork something that's already done, right? And I said to him that no, man, MICANGARIO, that the name that we're giving for the decentralized platform, is the cultural layer, right? And as the cultural layer, we can have the decentralized applications, the dApps that Threefold already have, and we can put in Portuguese and things like that. And we have the infrastructure that we have to work with it, right? And the beauty of it, in my understanding, my perspective, is that you see, Allan, it's already aggregative move, right? We're not starting from zero, from scratch. We already have the technology. We already have the applications. And I know that these applications, and you can correct me, Roel, but I know that these apps, these applications, they are open source, they are open code, so we can have a fair amount of customization in terms of culturally application, make them more culturally, how I say to you, approachable for people here in Brazil. And I think, man, this is the better of the worlds here, right?
Vini,
Yes.
só eu estava aqui pensando que uma das questões do miçangário sempre foi qual moeda, qual criptomoeda seria minerada para que a holomoeda pudesse existir, né? Porque a mineração descentralizada faz parte do processo. E eu estava muito entendendo ao Ethereum. Uma coisa legal da gente ter olhado isso hoje foi justamente saber desse digibyte já aí dentro, né? Eu vou dar uma aprofundada nesse digibyte aqui para entender melhor, mas acho que é isso.
Yeah, because he was actually thinking to have a blockchain infrastructure to make the holocoin of MICANGARIO transact, right? To mint and transact. And if Threefold already has with digibyte a solution for that, well, that's nice. Let's take a look about it, right?
Yeah.
But there's something very interesting. You see, Allan, Threefold doesn't have actually a parity with fiat monies directly. It's indirectly, and indirectly in the sense that there are. You can correct me, Roel. They are actually working to have this interface better ingrained in the technical machinery, how to operate all this ecosystem. But if in the cultural layer, we have this possibility via MICANGARIO to have a conversation with fiat money. Wow, that would be nice, because this is going to be something very interesting for Threefold itself, right? Where you have a cultural layer that is running with their infrastructure that is already has, let's say, a parity. It's paired with local fiat monies all over the planet. So if we have this running here in Brazil, wow, man, this is going to be a showcase for all Threefold all over the planet. Am I not correct in my understanding of this role?
Yes, yes.
Did you understand what I said? I tried to.
Not completely. I'm trying to, but I'm not completely. Sorry.
Yes, because you see, all the threefold ecosystem, they are based, of course, in the equity, in great part, and equity work of you and all the folks around, and you can exchange it for, I think so, I don't know, but we never have a talk about this, but you can exchange for the main fiat, worldwide fiat monies like euro, like dollar, or things like that.
There's an exchange that lists Threefold tokens.
Yeah, but for local exchange that is not so worldwide, like Real or pesos, I don't know. I think that you don't have a showcase for that. So what MIÇANGARIO as a decentralized platform can do in a cultural layer is to showcase this type of exchange. Fiat money that are not global, they're not international, they're not planetary, right? They are very regional, they're very national. Let's put in this sense. So that would be nice to develop, to evolve that. And because you see, the artists that Allan is inviting, the work they're doing here in Brazil is very okay. Any art that you make, it's global, it's planetary, it's universal, but they act very locally, hyper locally.
Yeah.
And of course, they expect to access some fiat money. And here in Brazil, we're talking about reals, right?
Yeah, I know.
And that was I'm trying to say, because you see, Allan, this is not really an overworking thing here. Is more to aggregate what Threefold is already doing with what we want to do in terms of in the regional scene, in the national scene here in Brazil and Latin America, and elsewhere, and already surf with the technological infrastructure that Threefold has been building, right? Developing. So for me, this is the perfect storm.
Okay.
I can really see the perfect storm here. So forgive my French. I'm not really explaining as I have to explain better, but I'm very excited because I'm already visioning it. I'm already envisioning it. So for me, it's very clear. And
Vini, talvez, né, maybe, explicar um pouquinho sobre o que é a Miçanga, como ela trabalha com os três conceitos de fiat, cripto e holomoeda, né? Eu não sei se você já está por dentro, então talvez clarifique um pouco como a gente consegue fazer essa junção. Não sei se você acha que é necessário também.
Well, I think the Roel already read what he put in the chat.
Yeah. And it looks really cool.
Yeah, and I think that this is that synthesizes what we're talking here, what Allan just wrote. In the chat. And I don't know if it makes it more clear what I'm trying to talk with you both. How this is a perfect storm. How this work, if we can really internalize it, we can make it happen for the distribution in terms of infrastructure, for the dApps and the culture layer. You see, for me, it's crystal clear, man. but okay, let's continue talking about it to make it more crystal clear for you guys.
Yeah, please, because what I see now is three layers that interoperate together to put make a connection between crypto and fiat coin. But how does the Threefold grid interact with that? What's the role of Threefold? What would the role of Threefold be in this scenario, so to speak?
Yeah, first of all, MIÇANGARIO doesn't have the farmer part, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to invite people to be farmers, but
Mm-hmm.
farmer, the sense that we're talking originally, me and Allan, about being farmer, we were talking about holochain, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a holochain, but holochain has not deployed yet, and Threefold has it. So let's work with what is already deployed, right? And so the part of the farmers is a very key part for the MIÇANGARIO decentralized platform. The part of the thing that Threefold already has in terms of dApps, it's central too. It's very important. So, and we can cut, and we can
Sorry.
yes, bro.
How do the farmers fit into this story? I'm
Well,
trying.
because the
I
farmers,
don't see a connection yet, but I will soon, hopefully.
yes, the farmers will be running what Allan actually is running in the city that he's living. Will be running aldeias, tribal villages all over Brazil, right? And they will be the farmers. They will be the
Vini,
farmers.
na verdade, não. Na verdade, é só, sorry. Cada pessoa que assistir ou consumir conteúdo através desse fluxo de dados descentraliza a mineração da cripto, né? Da cripto. E aí, a partir desse fundo feito em criptos, a gente espelha uma moeda local que é distribuída como renda para essas pessoas. E essa cripto ela gera a fiat, que no final de essa moeda espelho que eu chamo, né, mirror coin, essa que seria a miçanga, essa moeda espelho, depois de um período de tempo, 6 meses, 1 ano, menos, mais, ela pode ser resgatada em fiat.
Yeah, but okay. Let me respond him in Portuguese so I can get you out in English.
Sure.
Ok, Roel? Sim, Allan, mas de qualquer forma, a gente ter cada pessoa, né? Digamos assim, mesmo que na solução, não do equipamento que a Threefold desenvolveu, né? O Pluto, etc. Mas essa pessoa, ela também, de alguma forma, está hospedando e tá rodando aplicações distribuídas, né? Essa pessoa pode ser considerada uma farmer também.
Sim. Não, é que você falou de várias aldeias, a gente pode colocar várias aldeias, mas não fica limitado às aldeias. Isso pode ser completamente pulverizado.
Eu concordo. Não, eu só peguei o layer, eu só peguei a forma como você imaginou
Ok.
a distribuição, a descentralização da coisa.
Beleza.
But, well, let me try to put this in a few words for you, Roel. Well, you see, we're only using the blockchain to mint, let me say to you, to mint all the wealth that's being generated by the users, in the sense that this wealth is going to be in a wallet, let's say, and this wallet, this minted wealth in the wallet, in crypto, right? It's going to serve as a base, as a reference, right? To mirror this holo coin with that we're calling MIÇANGA. MIÇANGA. So this holo coin, he reflects, how I say to you, all the wealth that's being captured by the people in a distributed and decentralized form. So people can access, can transform this wealth that is put in crypto, and can access this and transform it in fiat money during a period of 6 months. I don't know. So it's like all the folks that are connecting, they have a stake in the net, right? They have a stake in the platform, and all the equity that's generated by these folks, this equity is going to be, wait just a second, Vanya, this equity will be mirrored in this hollow coin, right? We call it Misanga. And folks can access, transform the wealth that each one generated via blockchain, can exchange it for fiat money. We call it here. So the thing is that the digibytes could be this blockchain, right? Digibytes in the threefold infrastructure could be this blockchain, and that's it. Actually, it's a very wise way, right, to use this infrastructure, this blockchain infrastructure, to let's say to capture, not to capture, but to store all the value, all the wealth that's being culturally generated, right? And Misanga as this mirror coin, right? Misanga is the mirror coin, is going to be the way that the folks actually going to have transform it, exchange it, this store value, distributed store value, decentralized store value in fiat money. Where here in Brazil, we're, of course, reals. I don't know if I could explain it in a sense that you understand it, because the social coin here is going to be the hollow coin. It's going to be Misanga. This is a very different way to make it happen, because it's not centered in actually Roel, in you, right? It's not centered in a way that you individually, well, here is what I produce in terms of content, right? Here is what the value that I'm adding. No. We're saying that all the value that's being added, that's being aggregated, right? It becomes, it goes to a well, let's put it in this sense, a type of centralized well. And this decentralized well in a form of crypto, it's mirrored for the Misanga as a hollow coin. So and each people that make this happen in a decentralized form can transform, can exchange the stored value to fiat money. That's the logic of it.
So if I would create content, I would get the hollow token in my wallet.
You would be able to access and exchange it. You see, that's the difference, because the thing that happens actually, blockchains are very individualistic. You have to have your own wallet, to have all the cryptography to protect your values. It's not, it's paradoxical too. It's not really related to the commons in the sense. So we're generating health for the commons. we're making culture the commons itself. We're trying to make this commons, this cultural content producing driver of all the peoples, all the artists that are integrated, this commonwealth, this common well, where everybody that is doing this can access and it can exchange for fiat money. Did I make myself understood?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding. If I produce something, my contribution goes to a common. If we talk crypto, common wallet, or does it go to a personal wallet, or how does it work? I'm a bit lost.
Yeah, that level of detail we didn't evolve it yet.
Okay.
This is in the very early stages of co-creation, but the concept itself is very interesting, because it resignifies the way that we envision culture, right? Because in a classical conventional way, culture always has to be subsidized for the state and policies from the states, from governments, or it has to be patronized by organizations, by entities or organizations in the private sector. Right? So this is a way to make culture itself
self-sustainable.
Self-sustainable. Yeah, that's the word, man.
Okay, so basically everybody adds to the sustainability of self-sustainability of culture.
Yeah, man, and that's a very clever and smart way to do it. Some folks that are doing something very likely this is the common stack. I don't know if you know these folks.
No.
The common stack. They're doing something fairly like it, but it's not so that sense. But it's very interesting.
And what can
Allan just wrote something here. I didn't.
Economic during its life. So the coins are created for anybody to use. Is how or who can use the tokens to do something with it?
Well, everybody that is connected to MIÇANGARIO, this decentralized platform, is an active, just a content producer, cultural content producer. These guys, these folks, of course, if he's active, he's proactive, he's doing things, he's contributing to the generating of wealth, right? He can access. We didn't define yet how the logic, if we're going to have a common wallet or we're going to have an individual wallet, or if we want to have a wallet at all. We didn't define that, but I think that that's where I'm envisioning that this is something that is very entrenched, is very in sync with threefold thinking, right? To generate this decentralized internet and decentralized way of generating wealth, right? And distributing all over the planet. So that's why I think that that this three-layer approach that I'm talking with you about, that I envision that this showcase that we want to make with MIÇANGARIO can be a way to sync, you see, Roel, all the cultural, the social, let's put the social coins scene all over the planet is huge, you know. The social coin scenes all over the planet are huge. They operate in a very hyper-local logic, right? But you don't have a solution today that really speaks with them, right? And this solution that Allan came up with, I find it very smart, very wise, and very interesting. And that's why I think that we really have a common place here.
Yeah, I get that, but my question again is, how can I help you with Threefold? What can I contribute to your idea right
first
now?
First of all, it's not going to be today, I think.
No.
You better understand what we're talking here about, and I think that me and Allan, we have an afterwork to visualize this, to make this visual for folks to understand, because there's some complexity built in.
Yeah, for me to get buy-in from my team, so to speak, or from my superiors actually, to work on this, I need to give them something. What is going to come out of this?
And I think that this is a nice solution for this is something that can aggregate value for the smart city project that you guys are already co-creating, right? And not only that, you have a solution to connect all the social coins that they are already happening all over the world, right? And not only here in Brazil, not only in Latin America. and really don't have a solution, a very intelligent solution to integrate all the wealth that these guys are generating for local economies, for artists and things like that. What we have today is, as you know, a very anarcho-capitalist type of blockchains, and what you have is the holo chain that is mutual credit related, but is not deployed. so, so you have a threefold that is already happening, that wants to have more farmers, because you see, the people that's going to, let's say, uh, let's say the people that's going to produce the content, that's going to generate the wealth in this platform, the MIÇANGARIO, they can view themselves as farmers too. They can be a lightweighted farmer, right? Only running through software, or can be a more hardcore one with the equipments of Pluto and things like that. But I think that we can really have a common ground here to explore together. But my invitation, my friend, is to better understand the logic behind this, and how this is very related to what you guys are doing. But and how this is, like I said, for me, I have a clear vision of it. Is a perfect storm. But of course, you have your timings, right? You have the things that you have the pressures of your agenda and the timings of it. So that's why, independently of what we're talking here related to MIÇANGARIO, uh, me and Allan and others, like Utopia too, we're very interested to make it grow, make Threefold grow here in Brazil and elsewhere in Latin America, to make it happen. So this is very interesting, very important to understand. Independently, that if you didn't quite understand what I'm talking here about.
It's still a bit. Still a bit because I'm. If you could do something visual, that would be awesome, because I'm more visual. If you could say, if you could make a simple drawing, this goes there, this goes. I'll see the connection, but I'm struggling to see the connection with Threefold right now. So that's a bit. For me, a hard thing to sell to my superiors, to put time in this, because we are kept on the clock, as you said. My timings are very limited, so I want to make sure that if we schedule a next meeting, that we can say, like, look, we're starting the meeting with this idea, and let's see what the outcome can be of the meeting.
Because the idea is, when we're going to have the hackathon on December 12th, maybe one or two devs from Threefold will come together to integrate things, to make a thing more smooth with all the Threefold infrastructure that already is happening. You see, to integrate Treebot, like for it. But you see,
that's something we can talk about for sure. Like, if you have a hackathon and you want to see if you can run it on the Threefold grid, why not? We can definitely try that.
But that's the main thing now. Okay, that's the main thing now is that we have a hackathon that's going to happen December 12th, right? And it's going to be nice to count with the partnership with the Threefold infrastructure.
The thing is, it's maybe very hard for us to serve a hackathon in Brazil with the latency and all that stuff. It might take very long. So I would definitely recommend at least Allan to play around with the Threefold now that he just seen, where I put the peer tube on, etc., to see if it would work before we put it in front of people. Because if it doesn't work, it doesn't make any sense to use it in your hackathon, right? But we just did a huge hackathon, one of the biggest in the world, and it was very, very successful. So
wow, man!
Yeah, that was it was Odyssey in the Netherlands. Actually, it's one of the biggest in this. Yeah, one of the biggest in their kind in the world. So that was huge. And I will talk to the person that has manage that hackathon, and I'm happy to drag him in as well and see if we can together support the hackathon for. Would that then be Aldea or?
Yeah, we're calling it Aldeathon.
So it's basically creating the first creating the stepping stones for Aldea, or how do I? It's
a stepping stone
that you'll be writing.
Is a stepping stones for MIÇANGARIO, this decentralized platform that we're talking here about, and that's why how I am envisioning, me and Allan are envisioning, it's going to be interesting in the stepping stones to be already ingrained, entrenched, and sync with all the technology that Threefold has been developing as a Web3, right? It's centralized into that. So that's the first thing that we have.
Let's go from there.
Yeah.
Let's start with that and see put that as a clear goal to see if Threefold can support the Aldeathon, and from there, how do you say it? A brotherhood will grow, I guess, and then we'll see where we get. Like, let's first get some get you guys some capacity to see if you can deploy something on there for the grid, for Aldea, sorry, and then let's see if we can how this relationship. Sorry, my English is starting to go away from me. How this relationship can grow over the next let's say half a year or something. Like, who knows?
Yeah, man. Just don't forget that all the interest you have here in Brazil, people farming, right? Is still in place, right? It's something that we really want to make it happen. All the customization that we can do with already the dApps that exists in the Threefold testnet. This is something that we're interested to make some customization for MIÇANGARIO platform. As I see it, really, man. Forgive my French once more.
No problem.
I try my best to explain for you, conceptually speaking, what we're talking. But as I said, we're very interested to make this happen in this three-layer approach, right? Infrastructure, dApps, and culture. That's it.
Perfect. Let's see if we can work something out. 12th of December is very, very near, and so I will. If you could give me an idea through email on what you would need to support you, then I can have it in writing, and then I can talk to the team. Like, is this something we want to do? There could be a chance Threefold people are saying like, no, we don't want to invest our time in it. But I want to get you in front of the people, in front of the stakeholders that make that decision. And if we can go from there, then go from there. I'm actually.
Okay.
It might be a difficult timing because we have our team monthly meetings in that weekend. So I need to see. I need to see if I can personally support it or not, because then I'm out of the country.
Okay.
So, let's see. Let's keep talking through email and go from there.
Okay, my friend.
Is that good for you?
Yeah, that's marvelous. That's music for my ears. I think for Allan too.
Perfect.
And
perfect.
Let me say thanks a lot for your time, man. I know how you're stretching.
Please, if you can, send me like a very short, condensed, if possible.
It's possible, yes, of course.
Concept of the idea, so I can start thinking about it. It's a lot of information, so I have to.
We're going to put it in a visualized manner.
Perfect.
It's going to be beautiful.
Perfect. I'm
Roel,
looking
my friend, thanks a lot. I'm going to ask Allan to stay in the room.
Perfect. Allan, thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Roel. Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you. And we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
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 E aí, Allan, pegou, cara?
Muita coisa aí. Meu inglês não é dos melhores, né?
Mas
Então,
deu para brincar.
deu para entender, assim, e entender o que ele está querendo.